Hey guys, this is Tauna. Today we have a huge land cycle reprint announced for Innistrad, and I am very, very excited about this. This is going to be huge for so many Commander players. So Innistrad Remastered is coming out in January with it a whole bunch of reprints. There was no confirmed land reprints besides basic in it until now though. However, it looks like this has changed. They're bringing back a very, very important land cycle that honestly I think is going to fit into most people's Commander decks. I'd say it's like easily top 5, top 10 lands that you will be wanting within your at least 2-color, Commander decks. Before we get into it though, we hit 10,000. This was my goal before the end of the year. We've hit it with, 25 or 21 days left before the end of the year, and thank you so much for it. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share the video around, all that kind of stuff. We're one of the best Magic the Gathering channels for up-to-date news. This is literally announced like yesterday or something, and silly brews, cards for you guys to pick up, pre-con reviews, all that kind of stuff, and we go pretty in-depth and stuff too. So we got celebration details coming soon and a video to for that. I didn't want to do that today, or at least right this second. I wanted to get this news out first. I got to hammer out the details on that stuff too. Let me know how you guys want me to celebrate and stuff. We're definitely going to be doing a giveaway, but what else would you be interested in? And what goals should we set for next year? Do we want to set it at 20,000? Do we want to aim high and hit 30,000? What do you guys think? Before we get into the video as well, we've got a quick mention from one of our sponsors. Today's video is sponsored by Arcane Rush. This is a new Battlegrounds game where you're going to be collecting units, you're going to be putting them onto the battlefield to fight against other people, creating new strategies along the way. The game is free to play, and you can support the channel by going down, downloading it via my sponsored link in the description, or scanning the QR code on the screen. There is just so much that you can experience with this game. There's 8 different races, over 100 different cards, and each of those races is going to come with a cool, unique mechanic. You've got stuff like the Dwarves that have the Cheers mechanic, where you're going to put brews on them. You got demons and dragons and orcs. Orcs are probably my favorite because they are all about coming in and just fighting and fighting. You've got stuff that does multi-strike where you're hitting multiple things. You got stuff with like death proof where they're not going to be dying. Just some really awesome mechanics. It's got great art. The game feels smooth and clean. Not only can you take this game with you anywhere and play it everywhere that you like to, just chill out and stuff. You've also got the fact that they are releasing some really amazing updates. There's a new one this month that came with a new race, the Pirates, a new dealer as well, which was Tuck, and 70 new cards, which is just really, really amazing. So getting into some of my favorite cards, as I mentioned before, I absolutely love the Orcs. One of my favorites is definitely this Ranger guy, Fast Shot. Being able to deal an additional damage to a different creature whenever he goes into combat is just really awesome. And the one that I really enjoy is the Axe Enthusiast, because he's going to be able to buff up your front row creatures so you can get some really strong frontliners. Honestly, I think nearly every single one of the Orcs is just really awesome. The Uric Enforcer that just permanently gets stronger as you are fighting along. The game's also free to play, and it's going to chuck a lot of really awesome rewards at you, whether it's daily war rewards, you've got the beginner pass, you've got so much stuff that you're able to get throughout the game that it just feels so generous. It's really great for a mobile game. And you can, again, support the channel. Just head on down to the description, download it there, or scan the QR code on the screen, and let's get back into the video. Alrighty, make sure you check out the game below. So this was posted up on Blue Sky, and if you guys aren't on Blue Sky, make sure you go over there and follow me as well. This was art from one of the new Innistrad cards. So, it says TaunaMTG, Innistrad, attention witches, time to go mushroom hunting. And they usually post this stuff to kind of tease, hey, here's some cards that are going to get reprinted, which is really good. And as soon as people saw this art, they're like, hey, look, that is this art here. So this is the Death Cap Glade. This is art from that, and it's a cycle of slow lands from Innistrad. So there was half within Innistrad, the Vow, and then half within Midnight Hunt. Come in tapped unless you control 2 or more lands. In Commander, these are so good. As I said, these are probably one of the best lands to be able to have within your deck. However, they are kind of quite expensive, especially Death Cap Glade, I think, is the most expensive one or up there. Now, 6 of them were reprinted within Doctor Who, and 1 of them was reprinted as well within Modern Horizons 3 Commander, but they still are quite expensive, even though they were printed in Doctor Who, because they are just so great. They cycled out of Standard in August, which means they're slowly kind of dripping down from that too, but they are, still up there. So, having a look at Deathcap Glade, this is still an $11 card for the, cheapest version of it. You can see, at the start of the year, it kind of started dropping down. There was a huge spike up here and then, started dropping down. Since August, we're still kind of slowly dropping, but they are still quite expensive, especially because Commander players will be wanting them. Deep Root Cascade is the cheapest version of it. And you can see, it's kind of dropping down as well since the start of the year. We're looking at about $2 for this one currently, but I would say that if they did not get reprinted right now, they would slowly start creeping back up again, just because of the fact that people want them for their Commander decks. So looking at all of them, as I said, the most expensive is the Deathcap Glade, down to Deep Root Cascade being the cheapest here, but all of them are $2 plus. Shattered Sanctum is up there. Sundown Pass even got reprinted within the Doctor Who set, and it's still up there as $5.85. I'm surprised that one's up there so much. The 4 from Doctor Who, the 5 from Doctor Who down here are, as I said, the cheaper versions of them, but Sundown Pass just blowing it out of the water, just because red and white don't have a huge amount of really great lands, but they had the same cycles. I don't know why Sundown Pass is so up there. Let me know why you think this one's up there as much. Maybe because I don't know. So this is the breakdown of the play boosters. The reason I'm showing you guys this is because I wanted to show that it is a basic land slot within both the play boosters and collector boosters. It's not a basic with a chance of a different slot. So the basic land here, as I said, just a basic land. Now they could edit this later on to be like, hey, it's a basic land with a 10% chance of this land cycle or something, if they didn't want to spoil it, but who knows? Currently, it's just showing basic land. And then looking at the collector boosters, it's much the same, where you've got one traditional foil retro frame basic land. It is not saying, a basic land or a chance of this or anything. So that's kind of just something I wanted to kind of show you guys to keep in mind, that there's no chance that the land slot here will be potentially one of these lands. But which is weird, because if you have a look at Duskmourn and MKM, this is the MKM one. They had the basic land slot here, but then in here they had the rare dual lands as a part of the wild card drop, either as the wild card here or the wild card foil slot. So either one of these two. So in here, the basic land was a basic land. That's all it could be. A basic land, or a big foil basic land, or a full up basic land. However, when you look at Duskmourn, which I think was a better way for doing it, was the land card within it had a chance of being one of the 10 common dual lands. So maybe because of the fact that these are rare dual lands, they're not going to show up there. Maybe, I guess, if we had a common dual land cycle, then they could show up in there, but who knows? Either way, just the part of that I want to show here is that it's going to be in the rare slot, most likely, if they are there. So will it change prices? I guess is the big thing. Possibly, though the reprints for Shocklands really didn't affect the shocks by a huge amount. These aren't quite as good as Shocklands, don't get me wrong. They're not fetchable, they can come in tapped, while Shocklands are, guaranteed as long as you pay that life to come in untapped. We could see these drop down a bit, definitely. We'll have to see as to how it goes, though. Looking at, the Shocklands to kind of show you guys, this here is showing when Ravnica Remastered came out, just here. And this is the cheapest version of this. You can see it did not drop down. And as I said, this is the cheapest version. So even the Ravnica Remastered version is more expensive than this version here from Gatecrash. And yeah, just no drop. The Godless Shrine as well, looking at it, this year is Ravnica. It's slowly going down a little bit here, but not much. And it's not affected a huge amount by that actual reprint here. So this is the cheapest version of Godless Shrine. So it could potentially affect prices. I would say it's more likely to affect prices than the Shocklands, just because Shocklands are definitely top 5 of the Commander lands. Also, though, on top of this, we could also see some reprints for other lands, right? So in Ravnica Remastered, they had the Guild Gates and the Shocklands. So we could see another cycle of lands reprinted here. And I would say that's the case, right? I don't think that we're just going to get one cycle of lands. I think we'll get 2. So having a look at other cycles of lands, right? We've got the original Czech lands were within Innistrad. I know that some of them were reprinted within Dominaria Remastered, I think it was. So I don't know if it's likely, but we could see the Czech lands. I think more likely we could see these guys here, which is another rare cycle of lands. I think it's allied colored utility lands. So, Gavany gives a +1 to each creature. Kessig these are all reprinted within precons, like all the time though. So you can see here, this one was March of the Machine March of the Machine Commander, MKM Commander, LCC Commander. So we could see, I think that these are more likely, and they are rare, so I think they'd fit it more. We also have these ones here, which were also rare, which was the Reveal lands. So either one of these two, I think, is potentially going to be reprinted. Both of them not huge value, but I think that it makes sense, and I think that it would work, and I think that would be a good idea. I don't think they're just going to print one land cycle here, is what I'm kind of getting at. So what do you guys think? Are you guys more excited for Innistrad Remastered now? Less excited? Are you going to pick up singles for it or what? Again, thank you so much for everyone who subscribed and helped us hit that 10,000. What should we do to celebrate? And a reminder, click down that link there. Go get Arcane Rush Battlegrounds. Show your support for me. Show your support for the game. It's really great. Have a great day and goodbye.